want to hear about face cam sometime too. But
I will tell you. I think you're going to probably want one of these. I'm surprised. I'm utterly shocked at how good it is, and for how cheap it is for how good it is. All right. Here we go. I'm going to hit record. We're off to the races, and I'm going to hit play and record and all this shit. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
It's not what it looks like.
Like I said, they always go back to the seat of the crime.
We're gonna have to take it down to the station.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
We'll see who shits on the sidewalk.
Jeez.
The Morning Stream. Reverend, you've got balls as big as church bells.
Greetings and welcome to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for, what day is it? Thursday, March 9th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott.
Hi. How funny to see you here.
Oh, look who it is.
Yeah.
If it isn't Scott Johnson.
How convenient. Showing up to do a thing you do every day together. Weird.
What?
I know. Very strange. Hi, everyone. We hope you're well, and welcome to another edition of the show. It's a little short today, just to give you a little heads up. We don't have Wendi. We don't have Amy. We have me and Brian. We have a bunch of stuff, but I also have an appointment pretty quick after the top of the hour, the next hour. And so you'll get us for about an hour and 10 maybe, something like that.
I mean, how much more of us do you really need, really? When it comes down to it, do you need any more of us than that, really?
No.
I mean, really?
The answer is no. The answer is
Isn't that enough, really?
Emphatic no. Let's get straight to it. So this marks final day of no Kim. As you can tell, I'm a little chipper. I'm a little excited because...
Are you exhausted from having to clean the house, rapid clean the house?
Well, that'll be after my appointment. Because she'll get home here. She probably doesn't get here till about 3.
Oh yeah, you got a couple hours.
I got some time. Yeah, I got to get the dishes done. And a lot of it was stuff that, like, when they left, it was already kind of like, I can't deal with this right now. We're leaving. And I'm like, well, don't worry, I'll take care of it, I says. And I haven't done anything with it. So there's a little bit of that. I also got some boxes during the week that I need to just break down and put somewhere for recycling and all that. Like, I kind of haven't maintained anything since they left. And I don't want it to be a nightmare when they get home. So I'm going to take care of that. What was I going to say? Something about Vegas, and I totally spaced it. She told me something cool.
Did she go? She checked out the plaza and their renovations, or they went to Fremont Street?
Oh,
right?
they were going. So they got as far as the what's that place we always go breakfast down there next to it, or up the road? It's like 2 blocks.
Yes, the place where your sister ordered her eggs cooked.
Yeah. How do you like your eggs cooked?
Yes.
Not Wendi, Misha. The Russian sister from Korea. Anyway, they so
my eggs cooked. So that's not that. I mean, that's like a block. She could have walked a further block.
I know, that's what I said. I said, how come you guys didn't go up there? She goes, there was something going on and they had it blocked off. And I said,
interesting.
So what does that mean? How could you have gotten in there? She says, I don't know, but probably have to go like around a different direction, go behind it.
That's a pain in the butt.
So they gave up. They're going to check it again. They were going to check today on their way out. To see if they can squeeze in there because I want to get some pictures.
Okay.
So we'll see. But I know what it was. They all went to the speakeasy at the Mob Museum.
Oh yeah.
And Carter's 3 friends that they're with are teetotalers. They're not into. They don't drink, and so they all had virgin stuff in there. But it was their favorite place to be. They loved it. They absolutely loved the idea that there's this secret-y, hidden-y thing. They love this secret pizza place. Like these little things like that in Vegas. It's your first time seeing that stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this exists. But here's the funny bit. Her one friend never drank a drop in her life.
Sure.
Never done drugs of any kind. But she's really clumsy. And so she walks in there and immediately her purse explodes and then tripped over it and then fell onto another thing. So she had a bouncer walk up to Kim and go, I'm going to keep my eye on her just so you know, because
that's hilarious.
We don't want any trouble in here or something like that.
Oh my God, that's great.
And
that
Kim's like,
fantastic.
She's just clumsy. I mean, what are you going to do? Anyway, they had a really good time. I'm stoked for them to be home because I'm sick of eating frozen dinners and, all that. I mean, I've been eating Stouffers, Brian. They're fine. They're okay.
Oh God, yeah.
They have some decent
like
ones.
Lasagna has it been all Italian Stouffers?
No, it's been like one was a beef stew type thing. Another one was some kind of gravy turkey thing.
You know what? I'll say this: it's still better than hitting Taco Bell five nights a week. So
that's right. I haven't done a single DoorDash since she left.
Cool.
Which was my goal. I didn't want to do that at all.
I'm probably going to do one today myself, actually, for lunch because we've got people coming in to redo our kitchen tile. They're ripping up our floors, moving our fridge.
Oh man!
They're going to take over the kitchen. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I could do the bag of salad and just like get the bag, cut the bag open, cut all the contents open, and dump them back into the bag. Shake the bag up and eat a bag of salad like that, actually out of the bag.
You should. I mean,
that
you
sounds
could.
That sounds like a YouTube video, doesn't it? It sounds like something I need to do at some point.
It does.
But because they're going to be working here and Tina's going to be gone, I don't want to leave them alone, so I'm going to have to order some DoorDash and get something here.
Yeah. So how long are they going to take? Do you know? Is it going to take all day?
They're going to be here today and tomorrow.
Jesus. I hate when that happens. It disrupts my zone. You got to do it. I
right?
get it.
Yeah.
When you do it, you got to do it. I understand. But what a pain in the ass! It just feels like you can't live your normal life. This is such a non-issue for so many people. But
I know. But it does. It's such a it does interrupt the flow of everything. And then you've got hammering and pounding and
and then you're trying to podcast and you got people up there.
Yeah, he's like, all right, just finish the work. You don't need to like look at our calendar or read our
Do you think they're talking to your Echo up there, going?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, set an alarm for 2 a.m. Loud music, heavy metal.
Oh, damn it! Now you got me worried that they're gonna. That's all we need. That's exactly great. Thanks.
I don't know if that's a thing or not, but if I was somebody who, caution to the wind, didn't care, go ahead and fire me. That might be a way I'd go out, is screw with people's Echoes. I might do that.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, it would be great. I mean, if you didn't care, look, if you have to be a bit of a, what's the word where you don't care about nothing? Not narcissist.
Anarchist.
That's close.
It's nihilist.
Nihilist.
They're nihilist, dude.
Nihilism. Chat says arse. Yeah, that's true.
Arse. Yeah.
All right, I got some phone calls I'd like to get through today.
Oh, all right, let's hear it.
These are important voicemails sent to us by important business contacts. Not really. You remember?
They're finally reaching out. I'm glad they're finally reaching out. And
was it you on Recommendals that recommended The Good Nurse? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
good.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got to follow up on that. And it's interesting.
Although I wonder if it's like, I watched that Good Nurse and it sucked.
No.
Another one of Brown's. Okay.
Definitely not that. This is a little bit more inside baseball. So here you go. Enjoy.
Hi, Scott. This is Chris from Pennsylvania, and I have to share a story with you in regards to yesterday's show and recommendals, specifically about The Good Nurse. I live in Pennsylvania, born and bred here, and in 2002 I bought my first home. Well, I lived on a one-way street in a place called Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and one day, I worked night shift my entire life. One day I'm coming home, and I see this neighbor fella. He lives across the street from me, and we would wave to each other. He was sometimes coming or going. I think he was coming home at the same time. Never really spoke too much with him. Guy wore scrubs, and apparently he was a healthcare worker, it would seem. Come home one day, however, not in the morning. This is in the afternoon of a shopping trip, and there's news vans with those big masks on them. There's tons of people up and down the street everywhere. Turns out the gentleman I would wave to in the morning coming home from work was Charles Cullen, the serial killer, angel of death nurse that is The Good Nurse is based on. Yeah, pretty freaky story, but that's the close brush with a serial killer. I love the show, though.
You never went across the street and said, "I'm sorry, do you have any Tylenol I can borrow, or anything like that?" So that's good.
Do you have a bag of insulin I could use? Yeah. Oh, wow, that's cool. Jeez.
Have you ever had that where you were like close proximity to like a murderous person or famous?
Some infamous? No, not really. Trying trying to think if I've even had like a close run-in. Like, oh yeah, no, there was one time I was at this restaurant. We later found out that it was the guy who went and did it afterwards.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. No, I can't think of no brush with the bad side of fame. Plenty of brushes with the good side of fame.
Sure,
but,
good side of
no
fame
brushes
brushes
with
are
bad
always
side of fame.
always good. These are a little bit less good.
Less.
I
Right,
think the
exactly.
closest I can come was I used to go to this place called Raspberry Records here in Salt Lake City. It's in Murray, near the or no, it was Cottonwood Mall, so it would have been Holiday, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Locals will know what I mean. Cottonwood Mall's been torn down since, but across the street there are a bunch of stores, and one of them is called Raspberry Records, where you get all my tapes and CDs and records and stuff back in the day. And we go there all the time. Sometimes cut class to do it, and we went there at about I don't know. This would have been, I don't know what year it would have been. I could look it up, but we were there 1 week picking out tapes. Who knows what I was buying? Information Society. I don't know, something.
Sure.
And then and they were $7.99. All their tapes were $7.99. I used to think that was gret because it was.
That seems like it's the best deal this side of Columbia House.
Yeah. Oh man, only people in Columbia know how much better a deal they're getting from Columbia House. Anyway, so we go to Raspberry Records, and then my understanding is we leave Raspberry Records, and then that very weekend, Ted Bundy is in the parking lot behind Raspberry Records doing one of his kidnaps.
Oh my God! Wow.
And she's the one that got away, though. I think.
Okay.
I think she's one that got away and was critical in getting him tracked down. Eventually, when he ended up in Colorado, is where they got him.
Yeah.
But anyway, then the very next weekend, I'm back at Raspberry Records. Now, of course, at the time, no one knew who he was. Like, this wasn't a thing.
Right, exactly. And it wasn't like, oh, by the way, did you hear Ted Bundy was here this last weekend? Oh, really? Cool. Do you have the new album by Living in a Box
There
called
you go.
Living in a Box?
Living in a Box, called Living in a Box. Have you heard the hot single Living in a Box on that album? It's really good. Anyway, so we just had this, when we found out later, we were just like, oh my gosh, we probably walked on that one sidewalk where he went around the back. That's probably where Ted Bundy was. Oh, it's infamous.
Wow.
That's as close as I have. I don't have anything else like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's probably, if you had this superpower, this ability to know things like this, there'd probably be things that you had probably a lot more close calls with these infamous things than you probably know, right? Oh, behind me in line at the McDonald's drive-thru was this guy who went and sniper fired at cars from the highway or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, like someone bummed a cigarette off the Zodiac killer once and didn't know, or
right,
whatever.
exactly. Best we don't know, right?
Yeah, I'd rather not know. I would rather have, as far as my run-in with an infamous killer, that's as close as I want to be as a weekend apart. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's a good distance.
Yeah, although it would have been cool because we would have been heroes. But if me and my buddies would have been there that day, I hope we would have done something if we saw a kerfuffle.
Well, of course, if you would have seen that. Yeah, you absolutely would.
But I'm also a dumb teenager, so I don't know.
I mean, you at the very least, you may not have rushed in and said, "Hey, stop you!"
Yeah,
you would have probably called the police and said, "I think someone just got pulled into a car against their will."
Yeah, we would have probably done that.
Yeah,
and in an age of
little Datsun 280ZX silver with a.
Yep, and the guy at the Raspberry would have to let us use his phone because there's no cell phones then.
Right.
So it would have been, hey, can we use your phone? He'd say, yeah, man, go ahead.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, just don't do anything long distance, man.
Yeah.
Because remember that? That used to be a thing we'd pay for.
Oh God, I remember. Yeah, you'd go over to use somebody's house. Hey, can I use your phone? Yeah, better not be long distance.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. Is calling Colorado Springs long distance? Yeah, it is. Dang it!
It's such a racket. What a racket. That and paying per text.
Doesn't cost the phone company any more money to have you call
Nope.
another state than it does someone down the street.
Cell phones so quietly murdered it and without much fanfare. I don't remember anybody talking about it. There was a life before where people were calling you and saying, I'd like to save you money on your long distance services and during dinner, and you'd have to say, quit bothering me, hang up or whatever. We had a whole life of that. And then suddenly we didn't.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
It wasn't a thing.
Huh, interesting.
Cell phone company said, I don't know why are you guys charging more for them to call Connecticut than to call.
It's such a
someone
load,
across the
dude.
street.
Such a load. Such a racket. I hate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's call number 1. Thank you for that. That's an
Cool.
interesting run in. Here's one about bears,
Okay.
and you'll understand. Well, you'll get it when I play it. Here you go.
Hey, Scott and Brian, it's Seth from Philadelphia. I guess this will be on yesterday's show, or one of the shows you talk about bears, and I complained about you calling big, hairy, gay guys bears. That's not what I'm calling about. You said, you asked Brian if he had ever seen a bear up close or in the wild. I was in Vermont, in Weston to be exact, at my parents' house. I'm not giving the address. I'm not doxing my parents here. But and I was walking out for a walk, and this big black bear walks literally right in front of me. Looks at me, looks at the hill, and keeps walking. Like, no big deal. There's a human here. I'm on the road. I'm not scared of the human. Clearly, I was just like, that's a bear. Didn't run, just kind of stood there, and the black bear went about his merry business. Another time I was in Yellowstone, and I walked up to my cabin, and I turned my head, and there's a buffalo face to face with me, maybe 5 or 6 feet away from me. It went, ooh, and I went, ah, and we both.
And his call cut off. That was the
Oh,
one
no. We
yeah.
never get to the exciting conclusion. And
I
then
know,
I got
hang on.
killed. You're
Yeah.
talking to a ghost.
And then
That's
I
why I
died.
sound like him in a bathroom.
I'd like to introduce a way to speak to your dead relatives here on the show. Yeah, so
I was in Jellystone Park once, and this bear who apparently got into somebody's tent and gotten clothes because he was wearing a hat and a necktie and a collar, but no shirt, just a collar and a necktie, and he came and stole my picnic basket.
Your picnic, yep. That's oh boo-boo, you dumb shit. Yeah, that's a scary thing to see, but I'm glad the bear didn't care. And just turned around. That's what I would hope.
Just kept walking. Jeez,
yeah, that's what I would hope is because I would freeze and stare at it.
Yeah.
I think. Is that bad to stare at it? Is that a thing? Like with dogs, you don't want to do that. Like big.
I think is it with mountain lions you don't want to make sustained eye contact. I think bears it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to run downhill with bears because their front legs are shorter than their back legs, and what's the deal?
I haven't heard that. That's awesome. So what? They biff it and they can't go down the hill because their legs are too stupid.
Yeah, like it's something about bears.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. That's like chasing Chris Farley down a hill.
With big cats, you're supposed to. Oh, I thought. Oh, so Burgess Diesel's saying bears you're supposed to try and get as big as you can and yell, "Hey, bear!" just to try and be big.
You don't have to be bear anymore.
Not exactly the same thing. Okay, so for bears you want to be big and make a lot of noise. What's the deal with? But it's something about their legs, their short legs and stuff, right?
I don't know. I've never heard that. That's wild. If that's the case, I didn't know that. Back off without running. Don't make eye contact, says Rehan. There's a lot of different opinions in the chat. I think we need to get square about this.
Oh, God. It is funny because it's like, well, this is something that could save your life if you know how to do it in the right circumstance. But we really don't know. It's like you'll be sitting there going, oh, crap, there's a mountain lion coming. Do I be big? Do I not make eye contact?
Yeah.
Do I...
Well, I found a link.
Curl up in a ball.
So here's what what is this? Riolink.com where they do this is all just like survival stuff.
Oh, good. Okay.
And so here's what they say.
Sure.
Encounter 101. Are you ready or are you really prone to bear attacks? Let's see. Forget about that. First it talks about how likely it is you'll see one. Okay, here we go. What to do if you see a bear while hiking or camping? For hiking and camping enthusiasts, chances are good that you may encounter a black bear in the wild, but do not be frightened. Most bears encounters won't result in injury. By adopting the useful tips below, blah, 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 blah. So here's what it says. Number 1, don't panic. Most bears are shy and retired animals. Retiring, rather. Retired. Oh, I spent years in the plantation. I'm going to...
Time for me to do some rest.
Yeah, I don't know why I said plantation. Anyway... which will retreat to avoid direct contact with humans anyway. So they don't want to fight. Okay. It's kind of like bees, they aren't looking for a fight. You just got to piss them off. Good answer to what do you see when you see a bear is adjust your breath, stay calm. Adjust what? What does that mean? Just
adjust your breath. Probably just don't get too excited. Don't get overexcited.
Okay. So it says adjust your breath, stay calm, just like you would if you met another backpacker on the trail. It says. Hey,
want some trail mix?
That's hilarious. That doesn't seem right. All right. 2, don't approach the bear or take any photos. Okay, no problem.
They hate photos.
He says if you're going to do any pictures of bears that you see, make sure you're up to 350 feet away from them. But if you move toward them, they will treat you as a great threat and fight back. So don't go toward them. Don't turn your back and run. What to do with grizzly bears running away? Grizzly bears will prey on your instinct, and they will go after you. Their running speed.
Running. Oh, I'll chase.
Yeah, I'll chase you.
Yeah.
Their running speed is 15 meters per second.
Wow.
Good Lord. You know what my speed is? Not that.
Exactly.
Not even close.
Oh man, I'm sorry, National Park Service. I'm totally pushing my slow friend down. I'm pushing down anybody that that I can.
Yep. It says, let's see, haze the bears. Even brown bears in the wild won't offend creatures that are bigger than themselves. So to survive a bear encounter, you may play big by waving your arms, tree branches, and other handy materials.
Sure.
What's another handy material?
A lead pipe. If
All right.
You happen to be in the ballroom.
Yep. I always take one when I camp. Always
If
take
you
a lead
see
pipe.
a bear in the conservatory and you can't get to the secret passage to the kitchen, then just grab a lead pipe.
There it is. Back away slowly, they say. Look for shelters. So, okay, because the reason you do that is the bear could stalk you. So if you're out in the nowhere and you have nowhere to go, you want to find a shelter so it stops stalking you. Unless it stalks you straight to your shelter, I guess. I don't know. And then it says, use bear spray and handy sticks. Such useful tools will help you survive a bear encounter when the bear is approaching you. All right, then.
Yeah. Bear bombs or bear horns. What is it? There's a thing,
air horn. Yeah, you can do an air horn, it says here. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
like
air horns. Yeah, those things are big sellers here, actually, and probably there too, because you get a lot of hikers and stuff who just want to have one of those on dangling off their backpack. So if they see something, they can
Meert. How about bear spray? This is a highly concentrated version of a pepper spray that you might buy.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
bear
and
spray.
There's also ultrasonic
God, it's
deterrent.
so specific.
It's very specific, yeah. Anyway, how to reduce things.
How about larger animal than me spray? Can we get something just like a little bit more catch-all? Like, can I use bear spray on a mountain lion? No, I'm sorry, you need mountain lion spray. Well, could you make a formula that works for both, please?
Yeah. How hard would that be? Just make really strong spray, right? Give me some ghost pepper in there or whatever. This is my favorite thing. They have tips for making sure you are not blocking the bear's escape route. Ooh,
Oh,
boy.
sure. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't corner a
whatever
bear.
you do, don't make the bear feel cornered. That's with any animal, really.
Yeah, that's true. That's good advice in general.
That's why I don't get between my cat and my pinball machine. She's right there sleeping on top. I don't know why she likes the pinball machine. It's not soft. It's a glass. But she likes sleeping on the glass probably because the machine is warm from the light and it hums.
It's on? Okay.
It's on, yeah.
It's probably the heat then.
Yeah, she doesn't care if it's off. She doesn't not interested. But no, but she likes the warmth and the heat.
The heat is probably why, and then the smooth surface is probably great with the heat. So you're not bundled up in a carpety thing or anything. I don't know. Cats are weird.
Are you able to see it or do I have the microphone in the way? Probably not, huh?
See it? Yeah, I see her now. Oh, look at that. Try and play pinball now. Not gonna happen.
I can't see even a third of the screen because she is a big cat. She takes up a lot of that monitor.
I really like that thing. That thing's so rad.
Yeah.
Third
cool.
call.
I was playing Star Wars pinball with Tristan the other day.
Oh, nice. How'd you do?
He was playing. I was watching.
Oh, okay.
He got 6 million on the Darth Vader table, which is really good.
It's not bad.
And put his name in the high score list. Which
is it an internet connected thing so that people can compete? Oh, okay.
No,
that's a shame. But not really. That's how we used to.
There's
do
a way to do it.
Yeah.
You can aftermarket Raspberry Pi that business and have it work, but I don't care enough to bother with that.
No, you just want to play pinball. I get it.
I just want to play pinball. I don't care if I'm better or worse than anybody.
Yeah, take that.
I'll care in a month and a half when we're in Vegas, but
that's right.
Until then, I don't care.
You get to compete in that one finally.
I finally get to compete, because I think Red Fragla is going to man the brackets. She's going to be a bracket tackler. I think a couple people are offering, and so that way, if we always have somebody at the bar with the brackets, then
Amy will man it or woman it. She'll woman it.
She'll woman it. She'll fraggle it is what she'll do.
Fraggle it. She'll make it all red. All right. Here is your final call. Speaking of Amy, this came out of her segment, and it's not for her, but here's a recommendation from someone.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is for the TMS show. It's specifically, I guess, for Amy Robinson's spot on Thursday about the audiobooks. Last week, I think, she was asking who was our favorite narrator. And I've gone through or listened to, whatever you want to call it, Stephen King's 11/22/63, 32-hour-long book, 3 times, specifically for the man who does the reading. His name is Craig Wasson. He's an actor from the 80s. He was in Body Double, Boys in Company C. I think Film Sack is going to do Body Double soon. But he is amazing. He's also done King's Blockade Billy. It's from the Bizarre Bad Dreams collection, Stephen King collection story. But no, he does really good emphasis on his reading. Plus, he does like impressions. I've heard him do Burt Lancaster, Jimmy Stewart, as characters in the book. If you haven't read it or listened to it, give that one a listen. But I just wanted to throw that one out there.
Nice. That's a good recommendation. Yeah. I love that book, first of all. The 11/22/63?
63, yeah.
Amazing book. The TV show was okay. I don't think it was just too short.
It was okay, yeah.
And even as he told you, that 32-hour book, that's hard to translate into a miniseries.
It really is, yeah. I mean, they basically had to just kind of pick the best parts, so maybe I need to read the book. So, we've actually seen Craig Wasson. We are going to see Body Double as soon as we can slot it, as soon as it's streaming, because I feel like it's Brian De Palma at his most Hitchcockian. It is like Brian De Palma says, "Oh, you know what things I really like? All the Hitchcock things. I'll put them all in one movie."
Oh, okay. I'm in. That sounds all right.
But we've seen him as the in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. He is the psychologist that helps the kids. You see a picture of this guy, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that guy."
Yeah, I'm looking at him even younger here, and look at this. This is, I don't know what this is from, but see if you can guess this film. I don't actually know, so I couldn't tell you if you were right or wrong, but.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be Rollerball, because he apparently was also in Rollerball.
Might be Rollerball. Would be about the age, huh?
Yeah. But
he seems cool. I remember him, and it sounds like he's got a cool voice. I'm into that. Mm-hmm. There he is, chat. Look at him. He's old now in this photo. Yeah, he's like our age.
With him on the on the microphone doing a podcast or something.
Here you go. Yeah, it looks like he's
probably doing some narration. There he is right there. Yeah, probably doing some audiobook stuff, because apparently he's got a good voice for that. So.
I'll check it out. I like that book a lot. I wouldn't mind hearing it or reading it through that. I read it as a book, but I wouldn't mind doing the audiobook. Nice recommendation.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Got one final thing. It's a text about all those smells.
Okay.
Dustin wrote in. Whoops, I'm on the wrong tab here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, Dustin wrote in. Says, regarding smells outside of food plants. So we were talking about all that stuff.
Yep.
In Battle Creek, Michigan, you can tell what type of cereal is being made that day. I work between Post and Kellogg's plants some days. Fruity sometimes Raisin Branny. It's interesting some days, he says. Yeah, that would be fascinating.
That is.
What
I didn't realize. I knew Kellogg's, of course, was in Battle Creek. I had no idea Post was there too. So It's like the battling. Oh yeah. Well, take some Honey Bunches of Oats. Oh, all right. We'll back at you with some Quakeros.
Yeah.
I guess those are Quaker cereals.
Yeah, they're Quaker brand, but still, like the idea of Michigan being the kind of state that houses multiple companies in the same industry is interesting, right? Because cars, obviously in Detroit, that was the biggest thing for the longest time.
Tobacco in the Kentucky. Yeah.
So finding out that all the cereal magnates are all based in Battle Creek is pretty fascinating. But it would be weird to be driving through there going, all right, what do we have today? Oh, I think that's Fruit Loops. All right, cool. And then come back the next time. Oh, somebody's got some Honey Bunches of Oats back there. I don't know. It's fascinating.
Right.
Anyway.
I can't tell from the smell, but I broke a tooth. Must be Grape Nuts Day.
Yep. Should never eat. Listen, I know there are people out there who love their grape nuts. Yeah. They are neither grape nor nuts.
No. Yeah.
And they'll ruin your teeth.
Yeah, but they are great when it snows and you need something gritty to put on the ground behind your car so you can back out of your garage.
That's right.
That's the best. Yeah.
That's right. And they're good at blowing your colon out if you need to. So do that.
Right.
All right. Time for the news, everybody. Yeah, that's right. We do the news. And today's news is brought to you by
Coverville. Take that, Badger Lord. It's brought to you by Coverville, where today you're going to hear an album that came out 50 years ago this month. 50 years ago, and if you have any guesses, you could just look directly to my right, and you can see what album I'm talking about. You see a little prism with some rainbow coming out of it, light going in one side, rainbow coming out of the other side. This is an album produced by Alan Parsons, and was an album that was recorded and released after the band toured with the music. I'm talking about Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Would you say that Alan Parsons working on that made it an Alan Parsons project?
I would say that it's absolutely an Alan Parsons project.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. See, I kind of knew where you're going to go with that. I'm like, yeah, but it is. It absolutely
it just straight up is. It's the truth.
It straight up is. But such an incredible, like when you think about bands right now who release an album and then they tour a few months afterwards for that album, they did it reverse. They actually played all that music live with the segues and everything, because those songs all segue from one to another. They performed that stuff live, and then they recorded the album, and it came out March 1st, 1973, 50 years ago this month. So
is it still in the top 30 Billboard thing? That was its big claim to fame.
It was,
right?
for such a long time. I don't know if it is. I think there was like a news story we covered when it finally left the Billboard hot albums list.
Does seem like something we'd cover on here.
Yeah, but it was for such a long time. And what else? There was something else I was going to say about it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so while you're listening to Coverville today, you can start The Wiz, and it's weird how music will sync up with the stuff that happens in the cover of The Wizard of Oz called The Wiz.
Oh, I thought it was straight Wizard of Oz that it synced with, not the. I didn't know
the
that.
original album syncs up with The Wizard of Oz, but my cover show will sync up with The Wiz, which itself is a cover of The Wizard of Oz.
Now I get it. I was a little slow on that one. Wow. All right, so there you go. Scott's long journey from Milan to Minsk. You witnessed it yourself. That'll be today, right after.
A great joke, but I had to explain it.
No, that's good. I'd say right after today, after we're done, you're doing this.
That's right. Yeah. So like in 15 minutes after we wrap up TMS, I'm going to start the feed and then wrap up a couple things and then start the show. And it'll be a short one because it's a 40-minute album, 45-minute album. So
yeah. I love that record.
But there's some great bands like Godsmack you're going to hear, Wave Mechanics Union, and this one blew my mind, Matt Berry.
Matt
Berry from What We Do in the Shadows, with a version of Any Color You Like, the middle song on side B of Dark Side of the Moon.
New York City. That's great. That's awesome. I'm excited now. Yes. Are you like me though? That if you could burn one song out of that album, it would be Money. Just get rid of it. Freaking hate it. It was overplayed.
It's so overplayed.
Yeah.
I
hate it.
Yeah.
Hate that song. Love everything else.
In the context of the whole rest of the album, it fits.
Yeah.
Because it was the story of the album is that the band got together and said, all right, well, we want to have like an album that deals with mental issues, probably coming off of the influence of Syd Barrett, who is no longer with them. This was like them still trying to figure out who they were as a band after Syd Barrett.
Right.
And so they came up with a list of things that weigh heavy on your mind, and like anxiety, brain damage, money, greed, time, the pressures of time.
Sure.
And they said, great, there's our concept. That's our album, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yep.
And it wasn't even going to originally be called Dark Side of the Moon. Well, I take that back. They had changed the name because another band called Medicine Head 1 year earlier had released an album called Dark Side of the Moon. So this album for a while was just going to be called Eclipse.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. So what was I going to say? Oh, So the example, people always say, well, how do you feel about Another Brick in the Wall? That got overplayed.
It did.
I like that song still.
Yeah, but in the context, again, if you hear it separately, it's like, all right, yeah. But if you hear Money in the context of Dark Side, and you hear Another Brick in the Wall in the context of The Wall, I think both of them are much better songs with the support of the songs around them.
Yeah, like even Comfortably Numb, which got a lot of airplay as well, and I think is one of the greatest songs ever written, is better when you hear it in the concept of the album. You're right. And they don't do that enough anymore. Nobody does this anymore. I feel like
concept albums are sadly a thing of a rarity these days.
That's because the money's in singles, right? It's all in like, hey, have a hot single and have it stand on its own, and who cares about the rest of the album?
Yeah, and with streaming and stuff, it's like, who listens to a full album these days?
Yeah,
except you and me and that awesome new Gorillaz album.
It's really good.
It is really good.
Oh, that one with Stevie Nicks is so good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on to this first story of our stories.
Yes.
Newly discovered chemicals are so deadly to fungus that they have been named after Keanu Reeves. That's right, 2 Keanu Reeves stories in one day, 2 days.
Okay, back-to-back Keanu.
That's right.
We know he stole the red pill, and now we know that he's got deadly fungi named after him.
That's right. Also, the stories about deadly fungus, they're a little harder to read when it's when The Last of Us is still in its first season.
And you know that what's it called? What is the real disease that animals and insects can get?
Yeah, the one that's the show says jumps to humans.
Yeah. Anyway,
Metaphil. Shit.
It began with a C, doesn't it?
The C.
Cordyceps.
Cordyceps.
Thank you, yes.
You are correct. It does start with a C. Metaphil. What am I saying?
Metaphil. Take as directed.
Yeah.
Ask your doctor if Metaphil is right for your fill.
Yeah. In some people, caused explosive diarrhea.
Don't take Metaphil if you're allergic to Metaphil.
That's right. So here's the deal. It's not every day an effective fungus-killing compound is discovered anyway, but researchers in Germany knew the recent find needed a special name. Oh, we must name this after Keanu Reeves, yeah, they said.
Yeah.
They were so impressed, they named the chemicals after the actor, a nod to how he eliminates villains in movies such as John Wick and The Matrix.
Okay.
That's weird. The potential treatment of fungus comes at a time when organisms are becoming more and more resistant to known antifungals, according to a study. This is what the entirety of Last of Us, the game and the show, is based on. That we slowly are becoming. We're getting to the point where we can't fight it anymore, and then boom, it crosses. I'm not interested in that world. Anyway, not only are the newly named microbes effective against plants, researchers found the compounds, molecules found in bacteria called lipopeptides, also to be effective treatment against human fungal infections. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a fungal infection. I don't think I have.
Like a foot thing, or
I don't think so.
like a little what are those little rashes you can get sometimes? Yeah.
Ringworm, which isn't really a worm, but
right.
I think that's.
I don't think I have either.
I did have a thing once where it grew. It was back in 2015. I probably talked about it on the show. This little area of my arm had it looked like ringworm at first. It was a big round thing, and it itched like crazy, and it drove me nuts. Went to the doctor. He took a biopsy because he was worried it was some kind of cancer. He says, "Yeah, this looks more like something cancer or something," and tested it, and it came back 100% negative for that, negative for fungal infection, negative for anything they could figure out. 2 days later, it was gone anyway.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Never figured out what the hell that was, and it was this perfect ring. And I hadn't been in an accident where something hit it and was a ring. Nobody put a suction cup.
Fall asleep on your spirograph or something? Or
my spirograph I sleep with.
Yes. One of the gears just, what is this?
Where's Dad's spirograph? Shake his blanket out. It's in there somewhere.
Somewhere, yes.
Anyway, so the good news is we found a new way to kill funguses until they get stronger than that.
So I love this article. At no point do they say what the actual the fungus killing compound is called that's named after Keanu Reeves. Is it just called Keanu Reeves?
I think it has no name yet, so they gave it that. It's called Keanu Reeves.
It's not even like, Kiana Sillin or something like that, right? Like, you'd think it would be something along those lines.
I would prefer that because the actor for which it is named still walks among us.
Right,
it's just confusing. If you say to people,
Exactly.
oh, that fungus on your foot never got fixed, let's get some Keanu Reeves on it. What?
Yeah,
I'm
put
sorry?
Keanu Reeves on it, and it'll go away.
Cremano
the Walgreens.
Reeves.
Do you have Keanu Reeves?
I like the Cremano. Who says this? Cremunus Reevasaurus.
Keanu Reevasaurus. Nice.
Oh, that's so stupid. I love it. Here's a story about a couple. They got jailed for stealing $1.7 million in wine from a Michelin-starred restaurant.
Oh, well,
Yeah, so you get in trouble for that kind of thing.
That's right.
This big thanks to Binary Hermit in our Discord for providing this one.
Oh, cool.
A couple who stole a haul of wine. Is that what a lot of wine is called? A haul of wine?
No, they just like a haul. Like they just a haul.
Okay,
They
so
just
I
hauled
would
up the
say
wine.
shit ton of wine. It's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They don't want to say a box of wine because
Okay.
that sounds like you're drinking a
I like Jeannie's
nice
spelling.
buttery
Good.
Kendall Jackson out of a cube.
It says, so a haul of wine, a murder of crows. Anyway, valued at $1.7 million. This is from a Michelin-starred Spanish restaurant. Have been sentenced to 4 years in prison. That's a lot for wine stealing.
Yeah.
Mexican woman and her boyfriend, a Romanian Dutch national. Ooh,
Wow.
he sounds interesting.
I'm a Romanian Dutch national.
I guess
Says
that
so
means.
on my business card. Look, I have a sash.
How does that make sense, though? You're the Romanian national or you're a Dutch national. How are you both?
It's part of a joint effort by Romania and the Netherlands to
Finally,
build a bridge and put this guy right and square in the middle of it.
put their hands together and make it happen. He left the famed restaurant in a trio in Cáceres, western Spain. Cáceres, I think. Caceres?
By the way, it's just he just has dual citizenship.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, he's not like important or anything. He's just
Just a dude that has a passport that says I'm from both places.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. They were carrying 45 bottles, which is a haul, of wine, wrapped in hotel towels. That sounds like something I'd do.
Yeah.
To avoid breakage and hidden in travel bags, according to a court report. Excuse me. The heist took place on October 27th and was planned in in minute detail. Not sure what that means. Oh, minute.
Minute. Yeah, minute detail.
Oh, my gosh. English.
What time's your appointment?
English. English is so stupid. Because that word is minute when it needs to be.
Exactly, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's minute when it needs to be.
Yeah.
But it's spelled the same. Oh, that minute minute. That's stupid. Anyway, the haul included 2 bottles from the French winery Chateau de...
I would not even bother with that one.
Diquem?
Yeah, it's
I don't
like
even know.
De Yucam.
Yucam.
Chateau de Yucam.
I just wanted it to sound fancy, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
it looks like it's should be in reverse, right? Muki.
Yeah,
Mukied backwards.
It's way better. One from 1806 that was listed on a trio's wine menu for 350,000 euros or $371,000. Good Lord. That is, okay, 4 years is maybe not enough. That's an expensive bottle of wine.
Yeah,
They had another one from 1883 for 45 grand or so. Many other bottles from the renowned wineries are also vintages from the 1990s and 2000s, including details listed in the ruling by 3 judges on the panel. The court spokesperson told CNN Tuesday the couple would not be named due to privacy reasons. Why?
Well,
They're not.
I mean, how many Romanian Dutch nationals could there be out there? It seems like it'd be pretty easy to find this guy.
Well, it's not like they're 17-year-old minors or something. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Come on, they stole $1.7 million of wine.
Yeah, a
It
haul
was
of
actually
wine.
originally 46 bottles, but they took one down, they passed it around, and that left it to 45 bottles of wine in the haul.
Oh my gosh, that's a long way to Vegas to hear that
It's a
song.
long way to get that joke.
Yeah, I liked it though. I liked it.
Thank you.
I'm going to skip to this last one because I have
Screw you, Mikey Bananas.
That's
all he said.
I have some scrutiny for this, so I'm going to play this from FilmSack. Scrutiny. This story about 28 girls hospitalized after using a Ouija board. I just don't know
What
if
were
this
they
is,
using it to do?
it just feels like this might be.
Used it in a brawl.
Well, that would make sense because according to this, 28 girls have been hospitalized because they played with this Ouija board at school. The students were rushed to hospitals after losing consciousness at school. The schoolgirls were admitted with signs of fainting, anxiety, and other symptoms. The schools directors, and concerned teachers accompanied the students to the hospital. Hugo Torres, head of the Galeras Educational Institution of Galeras Secure Department, Colombia. So this is down in Colombia.
The Sucre department.
Sucre.
Sucre.
Oh, like sucrettes, but sucre. Like
right,
that.
exactly. Just like sucrettes.
Except you do the good tongue thing in there. I don't do it very
Sucre.
good. There you go.
Cre, yeah.
So you know what you're doing.
Sucre bleu.
Sucre blue. It says, suck the blue.
Suck the brew.
My language skills. There were 28 possible cases of anxiety in school students. Given the reported cases, the series of comments were unleashed in the community after that. A bunch of people think it's the devil's work, of course.
Of course.
That's all they say. We don't know. I don't know.
We know. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's
a
bullshit.
Ouija board. It's absolute 100%.
It's a freaking Ouija board, all right? And I know people love to go, ooh, something supernatural's going on. No. Go buy one at Target. Go see what you can get out of it. Look, I know it was demonized in the 70s and 80s. We had satanic panic up the wazoo and back. But today, go to Target, buy a Ouija board, play with it all night. Here's what I promise you. Nothing will happen. Nothing.
Right, exactly. That one dumb friend of yours is going to peek with their eye slightly open and guide it over towards the letters that he wants you to hear. That's what's going to happen with the Ouija.
Utter and complete total bullshit. That stuff.
Yes. Now that said, the Lost Spirits Distillery in Vegas, which Tristan and Barry and me and Chris Brown, a bunch of us did while we were out there a few months ago.
Yeah.
They have a new seance room where you can sample whiskey and do a whole seance thing.
Really?
I really want to go.
You should go to do that. They whiskey tasting, and they do what? They have somebody.
Yeah, so this is that place. So basically, this is this really cool, it looks like a Tim Burton circus sideshow, and it's a distillery, but they've turned part of their distillery space into this cool little area.
Yeah.
And you walk through and you sample different whiskeys of theirs, and each room is this is the burlesque room. It's where I sent you that video of the Du Hast woman with the googly eyes on her butt.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you? Did you?
I sent you a video of a woman, a burlesque woman, dancing to Du Hast with giant googly eyes.
Oh, we showed it on the show. Yes, I remember
showed
this.
on the show.
I remember it.
That's the place. And then another one, they've got a woman getting sawed in half, and another burlesque show on a pole or whatever.
Sure.
And now they've added a brand new room called the Seance Room, and it's I want to go.
So will they be a person sitting there going, "Okay, one of you tell me about a dead relative or something"? Is that going to happen?
Probably, or there might be, or just might be. All right, let's contact the original brewer of the scotch, and then the table will float up and this is good whiskey.
And you think is the room rigged to have cool paintings on the
I don't know. See, I'd kind of want it to be, but I'd kind of not. Right? You want it to be. I don't want the Disney seance. I'd like a room that just feels ooh, this could be. If I believed in that crap, this could be a way to contact the spirits. But I know it's not.
Now that you've said the words, at first I agreed with you, but you said the words Disney seance and that you don't want that. Part of me wants that. Part of me.
Really,
just a
basically the enchanted tiki room of seances.
A little
basically.
bit. Just something cheeseball like that. How would they do it?
A couple paintings on the wall, and the eyes move back and forth, and then a little
yeah. How would
cross rattles or something.
how would the Imagineers imagine such a thing? I kind of am curious, but anyway,
I don't think that would ever fly at even under Chapek or the newly restored leadership of Bob Iger. I don't think we're ever going to see a Disney seance.
Yeah, I don't think Iger's first job back on the wheel is to get that going. I don't think. Well, anyway, that sounds fascinating. I kind of want you to go so I can hear about it. Since I'm not really a whiskey guy, and I don't know, I'd probably be so.
No, it would be the whole experience. Sadly, would probably. Well, I'd say it'd be wasted on you, but it's still such a cool space. They've got a whole submarine room that feels like it's rocking back and forth, and the windows have fish going by, on a a conveyor belt loop kind of thing, but it gives this whole cool like Jules Verne steampunk.
Like
kind of
real
feel.
fish? Like living?
No. Little fake fish.
Little fake fish. Okay.
Little fake fish.
Because I figured it was like those glass tunnels they put in like aquariums.
Yes. Yeah. See, that would be a good way to do it.
I like that stuff. Those are so
Yeah.
cool. They make me
Claire's
feel like
demanding to go. By the way, Winmagus, send that in as a. So when Winmagus asked the question, I agree that a lot of supernatural stuff is bullshit. But are there supernatural things that the two of us actually do believe in? I'd say ask that, like call that in as a voicemail.
Oh, I'd love that.
Or send it as a text.
Yeah.
We will answer that on a future show. I think it's a great idea.
for sure. In fact, I'm going to copy that to remind me in case he doesn't do that. So here it is.
Cool.
It's saved for future TMS. Okay.
Saved for the future.
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to like my answer. Let's move on. That's going to do it actually for today's show. In about 10 minutes, I got a thing, and so we're ending things a little early today. Like I said, Wendy's got a family thing anyway, and Amy's on a cruise, which we'll hear all about next week. So
yeah,
we're just going to cut it a little bit short. But that means another chance for me to remind you this entire operation is fueled by your contributions at patreon.com/TMS. Go read all about it today and find out why you, who have been on the fence for so long, can join now. And it's fine that you waited. It's okay.
It's fine. It's
Just
totally
join
fine.
now. Now is the time. Here is the place. Yeah. We are the hosts. Get in there. You're the one. You're the dollar. All right?
Wow.
Patreon.com/TMS. Let's get out of here with a song and Brian's description of said song.
Yeah, a guy that we saw last year at TMS Vegas, Tom Robinson from California, says, "Hello, distinguished gentlemen. As with every year, my birthday is on March 12th, which falls on a Sunday this year. So not only is that not a TMS day, this year it's Daylight Savings Day, Saving Day, which means I get a shortened birthday. So, for my request, I will have you pick a song from this question. What is your favorite album name?" Tom's is "You Can Tune a Piano, but You Cannot Tune a Fish." By REO Speedwagon, which I agree is a fantastic album title. Pick a song that is a cover from that album. And Scott, it's time to play a random film set clip and guess the movie.
Oh, let's do it. All right. I have these now in their own place, so it's easier for me to do this. You guys inspired this because you sometimes ask for this. All right. We're going to pick something randomly from 2014. Here it is.
Yeah, because you buried the eggs.
Okay. Let's play that one more time so we can get it in their heads here.
Yeah, because you buried the eggs.
Because you buried
the eggs. I don't know.
I have zero idea what that is.
I don't either. This is the problem. I also don't label per film. I label per content.
Wow.
So like, where's Harvey Dent? Is
Darth
this?
Swifty
Where
says
is
that's Paul
Harvey
Walker in
Dent?
the film.
Oh, sorry, Paul Walker. Oh, that's Paul
Walker
Walker
in the film Timeline.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, because you buried the eggs.
Okay, that is definitely Paul Walker. It must be Timeline. We haven't. The only other one we've done with him is the first Fast and Furious, or second, I guess.
Right.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
I think you guys got it. Timeline. Nicely. Who got that?
Well done, Darth Swifty. Well
Darth
done.
Swifty. Your name precedes you. Anyway.
All right. So, do you have a favorite album title? I know I kind of sprung this on you.
Gosh. My favorite title of all time. Let me just run it through my head. No.
Huge lung Fiona Apple, Win the Pun and the Thing, do the stuff with the place, and they do the thing, and this album title takes up the whole front cover of the album.
You know what I do like? I like, this is going to sound out of left field, Marvin Gaye's Here My Dear.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just like how it sounds, and that's actually a pretty good album, and it's one my mom played incessantly. But the Here My Dear is just a fun roll off your tongue kind of sounding thing. It's also all I could think of. I can't think of anything else.
I actually like, with his name in it too. Marvin Gaye's Here, My Dear.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Shit. He's known for some things. Or actually, no, he was all right.
He was all right. It was his dad that was a dick.
Yeah, his dad was a huge dick. That's right. Yeah. Well, anyway, do you have one?
All right.
What's your favorite?
I do, and we're going to get to it right now. I'm so glad you asked, Scott.
Yeah.
So, my favorite album title, at least the one that I could come up for this, we talked about it a couple weeks ago when I got the Squeeze trivia questions, is Cozy Fan Tutti Frutti, because it's a play on the Mozart opera Cozy Fan Tutti, And what's great is the people at the Cosmopolitan thought that it was really funny that it sounded like an Italian album name, so they put it in their hall of Italian albums on the way to the secret pizza place, even though it's from a bunch of British guys.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Now, that album is fantastic. As a matter of fact, I'm going to listen to it after Coverville today because I'd forgotten how much I loved it. It's one of the only albums by Squeeze that nobody's covered the songs from. There's one cover of I'll Never Go Drinking Again, but it's not very good. And it's a bummer because that whole album is fantastic. So I'm picking another song from another Squeeze cover from a tangential. I'm sorry, this is a cover by Squeeze, specifically by Chris Difford and Glenn Tilbrook. So when they went out on tour, just the two of them, they did a bunch of acoustic stuff. And one of their live tracks that they did acoustically is a cover of Blur. It's a cover of a song called End of a Century, the title track from Blur's album. Speaking of gorillas, this came out on their single for this summer in 1995. Here's Squeeze and End of a Century.
Perfect. Oh, I'd also like to amend my pick and say Radiohead's OK Computer is another great name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that one. All right, here it is. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back Monday with a regular show. Tomorrow, our our couch party will be at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and will involve more Doom Patrol. So check that out if you're a patron. Details on Discord and on the Patreon itself. That'll do it for us. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
The eating buzzer.
Yep, the eating buzzer.
The eating buzzer.
Yep.